What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Game Show. My name's AJ Gels. How y'all doing? I'm going to try and keep this intro short because I don't have a whole hell of a lot of time before I have to start getting ready for work. Long and short of it, I believe this was at PAX where we got a Cyberpunk 2077. Basically, like, they dropped like a deep dive video which showed some gameplay chunks with like the different kind of gameplay styles, and there's also going to be a Q&A with some of Q&A thing with some of the developers. It's about an hour and 13 minutes long. I've got about an hour and a half till I got to start getting ready. So, let's start.
Welcome, my name is Holly and I'm the UK Head of Communication here at CD Projekt Red, and I will be your host for today as we take a deep dive into Cyberpunk 2077. We're going to be showing you a video with new gameplay and new gameplay mechanics, and afterwards I'll be joined by three of our developers, Miles, Philip and Pavel, as we take a closer look at some of the things you're going to see and hopefully answer some of your questions. On behalf of everybody at CD Projekt Red, we're incredibly excited to share this new look at Cyberpunk 2077 with you.
Okay, I guess this wasn't at PAX. I think I was seeing everything saying that this was PAX.
Let's do this.
Give out with this shit.
Okay. What now?
Apparently you throw more ice into the bath.
Johnny?
You buy it? On that bullshit.
Okay, can I just start off by saying that, holy shit, I love the visual flair of this game. How it goes from looking gritty and realistic one moment to, futuristic, but still, that kind of like gritty, realistic sort of vibe to it, to this is sort of like digital landscape. It just so seamlessly. It's really cool to look at.
Where are we?
Our BBS, Data Fortress. Bridge to the deep net. Beyond, there are no borders. Beyond the black wall.
Welcome to the Cyberpunk 2077 2019 Deep Dive video. In last year's gameplay reveal, we showed you our vision for the world of Cyberpunk 2077, its quests, and visual design. This year, we'd like to give you a peek at some of the playstyles you'll be able to adopt as your character progresses through the story.
Here goes nothing.
You're about to see sequences embodying two distinct approaches to playing Cyberpunk. We'll show you a strong solo build, that is, a character who focuses on employing blunt force and taking instant action, and a netrunner build, a playstyle taking frequent advantage of stealth tactics, hacking, and battlefield control achieved using malicious software. Additionally, you'll learn more about Pacifica, one of the game's districts, two gangs, the Animals and the Voodoo Boys, and you'll see glimpses of Johnny Silverhand, the digital construct who haunts our main character, V. A word of caution. Given that the video covers a section of the game deep into the main storyline, we have edited the footage to contain as few spoilers as possible. Be aware that the gameplay as presented does reveal characters and locations you'll see while playing the game's main story arc, so watch at your own discretion.
Where are we headed?
As Peralez's campaign promised,
This way.
In this video, you'll experience a segment of a quest from the middle of the game. We're currently in Pacifica, one of Night City's 6 unique districts.
You know Pacifica well? Nah. You guys aren't exactly great at rolling out the welcome mat for outsiders.
It was designed to be a tourist hotspot within the city. As you can see, this didn't pan out. When uncertainty struck the global economy, investors pulled their funding, leaving most establishments unfinished. It's one of those places where expectations and reality collided, resulting in a heap of disappointment. Ongoing gang wars plague this part of the city. Outsiders don't come here if they don't have to. Even by Night City's standards, it's dangerous to those unfamiliar with it. Taking a casual stroll here would not be a good idea. A fast motorbike or armor-plated car would be the safer option. But places like this have their advantages.
You know, again, I'm gonna keep talking about the visual style that we're seeing in this game, and it's every time I've seen first-person driving in this game, actually makes me want to do it. And to kind of give you guys what that means for someone like me, I hate first-person driving. I hate driving with, you know, in the cockpit of a vehicle. Well, holy shit, sorry, I'm choking. Holy shit, it looks so cool. I love the look of the motorbike, like right and just sitting in there. And then, you know, when you're going through, you saw that high speed turn that they just did right before we cut to this scene. It looks awesome. There's just this game has such just a unique just visual to it that it just goddamn CD Projekt. I almost said Cyberpunk. Goddamn CD Projekt. You guys, they blow me away every time. Again, there's a reason why these guys are probably might want to. If not my favorite, one of my favorite developers.
If you're in need of rare goods or illegal cyberware, Pacifica's bustling local markets are a good place to start your search. The Grand Imperial Mall is a whole other story. It was one of the last developments in Pacifica to lose its funding. Until recently it stood vacant, but now a gang called the Animals has moved in for reasons unknown.
All right, real quick before we keep going there. You know, we keep seeing all this stuff, you know, like the illegal software and the illegal upgrades and all this. I really, in a weird way, I would love a 10-minute video just explaining how the economy of this game works. I mean, I understand we're basically a mercenary or a bounty hunter or whatever. We do jobs and get paid for it. You know, that's basically what we do. But I'm super curious, not necessarily just how the currency and everything works. I'm curious, like, how the actual shops work, how, you know, like what equipment you can get where, you know, if I'm buying this kind of, you know, off-market sort of upgrades and everything, you know, are there side effects to it? Like, or is it, I want to know how it all works. You know, it's like I said, like if I buy like this really powerful, you know, illegal upgrade, is it maybe going to be a little shoddy at times? Is there going to be problems to it, or is it just going to work perfectly? Or is it? Yeah, I'm curious to see what they've done and how they've made the again, economy might not be the right word necessarily. The commerce system, I guess, would be a little better. I'm not sure if you get what I'm trying to explain exactly what I mean. I hope you understand what I'm trying to get at, but I'm really hoping that they do some really cool shit with that alone. And I mean, just looking at this bit right here, you know, I mean, already we're getting the, up here in the, we're just taking a look at the HUD, you know, we got our mini map, our, general, there's a rated shop in this direction, clearly. You know, you got the, mission, the optional and everything, but, I like this aspect, you know, the scanning of the enemies, so you can see that they, take high damage against bullets, very low, or, no, I'm sorry, I'm gonna guess that's resistance. So I'm gonna get, I'm not sure if that's like they're highly susceptible or highly resistant to. I'm going to go with this is resistances. So as in he's weak to fire, has a high resistance to bullets, medium to electric and corrosive, I'm going to go with.
Not going right for the big guy.
That's a guess, but...
And that's what we need to learn in order to earn the trust of the Voodoo Boys, the Animals' rivals.
What the hell?
Could fucking tell me what you plan to do first.
You take job. You do what I say. So you jack in now.
Of the many gangs in Cyberpunk 2077, the Voodoo Boys are the most skilled at using the net.
You have now seen Pedrezo Agüe, our subnet.
Why? What for?
You are my vessel now. Through Agüe, I see what you see, hear what you hear.
This mysterious gang of highly skilled netrunners has close ties to the local Haitian community.
You are V? We have been waiting.
Haitians settled in Pacifica in the 2060s after natural disasters struck their island and forced them to emigrate en masse. The Voodoo Boys gang formed around this same time, though at a smaller scale. Now the gang effectively rules Pacifica. The Voodoo Boys don't usually work with outsiders. Lucky for us, it seems they're prepared to make an exception this time.
Mr. Hand sent me. He said you got merc work needs doing.
Still, to earn their trust, we need to prove our worth. Placide, one of the Voodoo Boys' higher-ups, has offered us a mission. We need to infiltrate the Grand Imperial Mall, currently occupied by the Voodoo Boys' deadly enemy, a gang called the Animals.
20:35:07. 3 seconds before, poof, the camionette. We try to learn where the camionette come from.
The Animals are not your normal gang. Their presence in Pacifica is suspicious. They value might above all else and wear melee combat implants to raise their prowess in combat. Their beverage of choice is juice, a potent strength and speed-enhancing concoction. As sought-after bouncers, they're usually dispersed throughout town. As skilled street-level business types, they've cornered the market in illegal substances and underground live-or-die prize fights. When they converge in one spot, it's for something big. It's then they appoint the fastest and strongest among them as their ad hoc leader. In this case, it's a woman named Sasquatch.
Said you wanted my bag.
It's insane.
No. As far as I remember, you said no bone brain buffaloes on steroids. Afraid that's the cost of doing biz.
This is the tech Placide was talking about. It seems non-standard for the Animals. And this is where we come in. Getting to the van won't be easy, but we're more than qualified for the job, which we can complete in one of many ways. The character creation in Cyberpunk 2077 is the kind you'd expect from a full-fledged RPG. You start by choosing your past, important because this unlocks special options at important story junctures. You also fully customize your character using a deep customization system that spans not only your look and style, but also your abilities. Cyberpunk 2077 does not feature fixed classes. Instead, it has a fluid class system that allows players to mix and match a wide range of abilities to suit their playstyles. You can create a strong solo character, a skilled netrunner, or any other hybrid class you can imagine.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Let's see how a solo playstyle.
All right, I'm probably going to go more Netrunner for my first playthrough, or, the one that I'm going to play on the channel. Just because I love hacking, and I love kind of being, I love to try and be a stealth character, even though I usually suck at it. So, I'm probably going to go Netrunner for my my first playthrough, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that they have the loose class system, this sort of mix and match kind of thing. I've never been a massive fan of that. Not saying if it's done right, it'll work, which I've played games that I think it works, and games that I'm like, I really just preferred, rigid classes. Mass Effect Andromeda being a big example of that. I think that game just, it needed a class system. It just, the mixing and matching didn't work. Of everything I've seen with this, I think there's enough customization, and it's deep enough that that these sort of custom classes or hybrid class, whatever you want to call them, will work in this game. So and plus it's CD Projekt. Again, I keep saying this is a developer that I really like. So I think it'll work. But you know what? Let's take a look at just kind of like what they have here, because they might go into it. But you got body, intelligence, reflexes, technical, and cool. I don't think that's all of the attributes. I think there's one or two more in the actual RPG, but I think they basically fused some of them together just to make it a little bit more simplistic. Obviously, body is like your constitution. I'm going to guess it affects health and strength, intelligence. That one I think speaks for itself. Reflexes, it's kind of like I'm going to guess agility in Fallout, which I'm going to guess it affects is your gun skills. Technical is obviously Well, you know what? I'm not sure. Technical, I guess, could be like technique, or it could be actual like mechanics. I'm not entirely sure here. I'm trying to figure out why a solo character would have a higher technical skill than a netrunner. And cool, if I remember correctly, it's some people. I've seen people who played the tabletop think it's basically like charisma, but no, I think cool is actually, from a Cyberpunk standpoint, it's I'm trying to think. It's kind of like bravery. It's actually you think of it like keeping your cool. You know, it's how like level-headed you are under fire, if that makes sense.
Style in Cyberpunk 2077 might work. Solos prefer a direct approach. They use guns and might to get things done. So let's wreak some havoc.
Oh, I loved that. I'm gonna pull back just a second.
Might work. Solos prefer a direct approach. They use guns and might to get things done. So
you see that you shot him in the leg, and you see he's limping. He's pulling back from the shot to the leg. Boom.
With our enhanced strength, we can strip this turret of its weapon to give the animals a taste of their own medicine. This is how a player investing in solo abilities might live out their Terminator power fantasy. Enhanced strength lets us force open doors, or grab enemies to use as human shields.
I love this.
We also gain access to powerful melee combat cyberware. So even someone as fast and strong as Sasquatch, the leader of this group of animals, is not impossible to beat for a solo.
It's always the glowy bit is the
Sasquatch has a different game
the weak point.
She's out to jack in and hack us. Let's see how this plays out.
Ready for some fun? Proceed. What's going on?
Net pig.
It's our choice if we want to finish her off or spare.
You know, I want to take a. You know, I hope it gets a little bit more explained, but
see how this plays out.
Just watch the top of the screen.
Proceed. What's going on?
Yeah, see, so it kind of looks like there's this moving bar that Netwatch will find you after too long, after scrambling the. I'm not sure what that Netwatch thing is.
Her off or spare her. You're Cyberpunk, your rules.
Take her out.
If you'd rather sneak around, hide, and strike from the shadows, no problem. Just develop your netrunning skills to get around obstacles or hack into enemy tech to have it do the dirty work for you.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Netrunning abilities mean hacking skills that let us use our cyber deck to breach access points. For this, we fill the buffer of our cyber deck with a string of instructions represented by these letters and numbers. Matching the instructions for basic access grants us control of devices connected to this network. The more instructions we match, the more control we gain over elements in the network.
See, I want to again. I keep saying I want to go back. I want to take just a little bit more closer look at how this hacking works, because this hacking looks really cool. It looks like there's a puzzle aspect to it, like you're actually doing something, not just saying, "Hey, I want to hack into this and we're done." No, there's an actual like mini game surrounding it, but it looks a little bit more in depth than what we got in. Well, I'm gonna say more in depth than what we got in like Fallout, because Fallout's is a little esoteric. I mean, it's a word puzzle basically, but unless you, but it never explains how to do the hacking. Like I never understood until I saw somebody do it, and I'm like, oh, that's what we're doing. But I like how this puzzle seems a little straightforward, but I can see where it could get a little complex.
For this, we fill the buffer of our cyber deck with a string of instructions represented by these letters and numbers.
Okay, so he starts there and goes 1C,
and
then E9.
Grants us control of devices connected to this network. The more instructions
ED, then we go 5.5, 1C.
Gain over elements in the network. We can hack our way through in numerous ways.
That's cool.
Quick hack may grant us control of the match.
Again, I keep going back. Okay, so from here, they could go one. Okay, so they could go 1C to get program prototype. But okay, because you made a mistake. Ah, neat.
A quick hack may grant us control of the security camera. Another one should let us tweak the difficulty of the training bot to create a distraction.
These are more quick hack type things.
With our
Oh,
nanowire,
man.
we can even hack this guy's implants from a distance. In this world, almost everything is connected to a local network. And that means it can be hacked.
Ours is a wolf.
I love this idea.
Which brings us back to cyberspace. You don't get to do anything in the net unnoticed. There's always someone watching. It could be corpos, or even worse, it could be Netwatch. And that is exactly the case here.
Who is they?
Netwatch. They always out to fuck us.
Netwatch and the Voodoo Boys are like fire and ice. The first of these wants to maintain the old order and protect people from AI anarchy originating from beyond the Black Wall. The Voodoo Boys want to establish contact with the free AIs. They believe this will enable their boundless expansion on the net and grant them the upper hand over Netwatch. Netwatch sees this as the end of the world. Both are right.
Whoa, hey.
How you deal with the Netwatch agent is entirely up to you. Do we side with the gang? Choosing to be on Netwatch's bad side is never wise. But can we really trust the Voodoo Boys?
You set me up!
As you can see, we have many possible options. But in each case, we take a risk.
Think I'll just stick to my plan.
Oh my god, I'm so fucking excited. Oh man. I'm sitting here like a... Oh man, I'm sitting here like a little kid on Christmas morning. I'm so excited.
In the world of Cyberpunk, few things go as planned. And that was just a glimpse of how complex the branching storyline in Cyberpunk 2077 can get. Every decision you make will have consequences. Your choices will shape how the world reacts to you and affect your relationships with those around you. One of those relationships is special. Ever heard of Johnny Silverhand, a rebel rocker boy who will be your companion throughout your adventure in Night City?
Come on, really think they give a rat's dick how you look?
Like everyone in Cyberpunk 2077, he has his own agenda. You'll decide if he'll be your ally or your enemy. And that chip in your head, the one thanks to which Johnny lives inside your mind. Well, that's a story for another time.
Thank you, Keanu Reeves. Oh my god, guys, I am so fucking pumped. Oh man, dude, I'm so fucking stoked. Oh, that was awesome. You know, I'm actually going to close here. Tomorrow, I'll take a look at the Q&A section of this panel. There's a separate video for just this deep dive that I'll put down in the description in this, and I will talk a little bit more because I want to get something to eat before I actually have to start getting ready. So, holy shit, I love this. Again, I'm thinking I'm going to go Netrunner as my first kind of my first class, because I love messing with all the tech and everything. You know, I love the look of the hacking, and I really want to do a lot of that. I like the stealth options. I'm probably also going to choose Street Kid as kind of my background. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Like, what, you know, should I go corporate as my background? Street Kid? I missed what the third one was. But I'm thinking like kind of like a street urchin, kind of like hacker savant, like kind of like that kind of idea. I think that would be really cool as a character. But I love all the ways you can customize your character. I love the idea of Keanu Reeves being a kind of like a digital presence in your head. Kind of reminds me of Joker from Arkham Knight in an odd way. I love how much this game reminds me of Deus Ex, but actually good. Nothing against Deus Ex, because I think Deus Ex is okay. I think a lot of people like it. It's just the combat in the combat in that game was my biggest issue. It was okay. It was a lot better in the sequel than it was in the first one, but and I am talking about the new Deus Ex games, not the old ones. I'm talking about the new ones. Excuse me. But yeah, I really love the visual appeal, the visual flair of this game. I'm loving the idea of the character setting up your class the way you want. Like I said, I'm usually more partial to a strict class system, but I actually don't hate it in this game. I think it works. Just everything about this goddamn thing just looks amazing, and I cannot wait to play it next year. I'm just sad it's that far away, but we still have tons of really cool stuff coming up. Tell me what you guys thought. Like, did you see something that maybe I didn't, that you want to say, hey, maybe check out at this timestamp or whatever, that, hey, here was this cool thing, or whatever. But either way, I do got to close out, because like I said, I do got shit I do have shit I need to get done. So thank you for watching, everybody. Facebook, Twitter, the website, minds.com. Links, all that stuff is down in the description below. Like, comment, you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more next time, and drop by again tomorrow, where we will actually take a look at the Q&A panel with the developers. But until then, guys, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, my name's AJ Gels, Something Game Channel. I think I already said that. Either way, I'm out.